today I'm in the kitchen and I'm going to make something that dates back to Native American tradition. As a matter of fact, the native Narragansett tribe of New England. Today I'm making succotash, everybody, and I'm putting my own little spin on it and transforming it into a perfect dinner time casserole, and it looks like Cameron is enjoying it already.
Oh, I'm smelling it. It looks delicious.
So
suffering, what is it?
Succotash.
Succotash, you got
Who
it.
said
Oh,
that?
man,
Who was that?
Sylvester the cat. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I
yes,
digress.
it was. I thought it was Yosemite Sam, but you're right. It's Sylvester the cat. The suffering succotash. So succotash, basically, for anyone at home who may not know what succotash is, it's just corn, beans, and usually squash. It has been changed up through the years, and you can put peppers in there or whatever, but it's usually the Three Sisters is what they call it because it's how they planted it back in the day. They would plant 3 different vegetables. And it can be fresh, it can be cooked, it can be whatever you want. And that's what we're making today. We're making it whatever we want.
You go ahead. You start making it.
Okay, so
It's delicious.
It starts with smoked turkey leg. A lot of times people use ham hock because you want that flavor, you want that depth of flavor, but you can do the same thing with a smoked turkey leg.
I get that smoked flavor in here, but where do you find a smoked turkey leg?
Believe it or not, year-round, you can find these at your local butcher. You just buy it. You're probably not looking for them. That's why you don't see them as often as you would think. Get a smoked turkey leg. He doesn't have to take the meat off the bone. You do it yourself when you get home, and you can probably use the bone and make a stew later on.
You got like a complete meal here. Like
you really,
it really
do.
is.
It's really good.
Okay.
So what I did over here is I browned some butter. I got some butter melted, and I'm going to add some onions. All right. And let that saute up a little bit. Then I'm going to add some garlic. You want to get this going because you don't want it on a very high heat because you don't want your garlic to burn.
Gotcha.
Then I'm going to add my red peppers, but again, you could use squash, whatever you want. I'm going to add my corn. I'm going to add my lima beans. I'm going to start putting it all in here. Or butter beans, it's the same thing. Okay?
Oh, is that the same thing?
Lima beans and butter beans are, I think they're the same thing. Yeah,
Okay,
they are the same
close.
thing.
Now,
I love, butter beans are you have to really flavor butter beans when you're making them.
As I'm eating this, I get this little, like, really wonderful kind of bite of spice, and I couldn't see anything there that was going to do it because it was hiding behind the corn.
There you go.
You got a little...
the crushed red pepper.
Yeah, you got some crushed red pepper.
And we add some salt and pepper in here as well. As you can see, this itself is just beautiful. If you were sticking to an all-vegetable sort of diet, if you do all plant-based, this would be the way to go. It's really nice. You can leave out the turkey or the ham hock or whatever it is. So I'm going to add some crushed red pepper. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. There's a lot of vegetables here, so you're going to have to salt that pretty generously.
Deb, the flavors are amazing. They really are.
Then I'm going to add in my smoked turkey. I'm going to get that going, warm that up a little bit. So far, so good. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so yummy.
It does. Tastes better.
Goodness. And you can tell that the smokiness of the turkey really...
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't that nice?
I'm sort of surprised that it's sort of so prevalent that I get that smoky flavor, but it really makes it.
It really does. I love it. I actually prefer it this way over the ham hock way. Then I'm going to add some chicken stock. So you could add, if you wanted to, vegetable stock. Either way is absolutely fine, but I'm going to add the chicken stock and let that sort of absorb in all the vegetables. Another tip here, if you're not using fresh vegetables, use frozen vegetables. However, frozen vegetables, as you all know, they retain a lot of water.
Okay.
So you're going to want to saute them a little extra to get rid of some of that water because you don't want it to be soggy because we're going to turn this into a casserole. We're going to put it in the oven.
Vegetables?
No, I really wouldn't do canned vegetables. I wouldn't. They're gonna.
Just curious.
No, fresh, frozen vegetables oftentimes are even better than some of the fresh vegetables you will get at the market because they freeze them at the peak ripeness. So they're absolutely perfect, and the flavor is a lot of times better as well.
Now, everything in there, correct me if I'm wrong, is cooked already. You're just kind of bringing the flavors together. Is that the idea?
It's all done. Then I put some scallions in here. So that's going to come together about, I don't know, about 15 minutes. You just really want that stock to absorb, and it will eventually look like this.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. And that right there is beautiful. I just want to eat it like that. Okay, so now we're going to put it in the baking dish. Very simple. And after I put this in the baking dish, I'm going to add a little extra oomph for us. This is where I've kicked it up a notch, and I've sort of made it a little special.
Sorry, one more time, a little extra what?
A little extra oomph. UMPH. You know what I
just had
mean?
to have you say it one more time.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Okay, so now we've got that in there. Now I'm going to add some heavy cream to an egg. I'm going to whisk this together. Ooh. You don't want to whisk it too much because you don't want to thicken the cream. You just want to kind of melt it together.
Okay.
You're going to pour this over just like this and really cover the entire casserole.
Now, does that just kind of give it a little bit more of a creamy texture? Does
It does.
it provide something else?
It's just turning it into a casserole and making it a little special. Over here, I have crushed up some crackers and some sharp cheddar cheese. Put it on top just like this. Now, if you wanted to, by the way, if you didn't want to make this tonight and you wanted to freeze it and cook it later, you could absolutely do that. But I would pour this over top and I would freeze it and forego putting the crackers and the cheese until you're about to put it in.
I gotcha. So you would freeze it before, obviously, you would bake it, melt the cheese. Before you even put the cheese on is when you want to do that. Okay.
Right. And then you'd have to cook it a little bit longer in the oven because this really does not have to bake in the oven for much longer than 8 to 10 minutes at 450 degrees because everything in here is done. All you really want to do is just crisp up the cheese and the crackers.
450, 8 to 10?
No, 425.
420, 425,
or
8 to
8 to 12. You
Okay.
watch it. You know your oven.
Deb,
So now,
this is absolutely delicious. You're going to love it. I mean, you
Oh
probably
my
know
gosh,
what
I
it
can't
tastes
wait.
like already.
This is my serving. Cameron, that's
right.
yours. This is mine. And the full recipe, you guys, will be at hallmarkchannel.com and so many more as well. So make sure you dig in.